when we look at the scripture, it talks about these literally questions of fabled genealogies. Should we be even involved in any kind of support of it, or should we just be talking about in truth? No one in today's age that you would possibly be in contact with would have any at all, shall we say, real support for a title or the use of a title. It's just literally a claim. That's all it is. It's a belief system, but there's nothing really supporting it. They're fabled genealogies. So the whole system that you're involved in when you're actually supporting such a thing, you're supporting a lie. Because a fable is nothing more than make-believe. It's not real. And the only thing that you would have actually verification of is the fact that you may have spoken with your parents who have basically verified the fact that they did name you and gave you a given name, which is a fact. A given is a fact. A name as a child at birth. Beyond that, the other name that they may be, utilizing, they have no verification where or the ability to say that they actually have real claim and usage of it. But it was definitely installed for the purpose of the definition of a debt or a debtor. It was used for purposes of taxation, conscription, the draft, terms and definitions that were used for something that was not something for God's people to be associated with or involved in. It made them part of the world or part of the secular system that was willing to basically fight over title to the death, and not based on someone that was of peace or something that was from the natural purpose that God put in place for man when he put him on the earth in the Garden of Eden. So is it your responsibility to surety fabled genealogies, a surname hearsay? That's all it is? Are you really supposed to be obligated to do that? Or is it possible for you just to walk in truth and not be involved in that type of activity? Yes, it is. Yes, it removes you from a lienable debtor activity, because the titles we're talking about being of doubtful control, they're of something that is of fabled use, certainly doesn't have any foundation in truth. And therefore, for you to claim something like that with no proof is basically making you into someone who must prove and someone who must actually take on the debt associated with it. So when the legalists came up with the use of surnames, they knew what they were doing, because they related to someone who was a debt or a debtor title of something that came from a fabled genealogy of a man's person, according to Job 32:21-22, which was not to be accepted by the creation of God. It was to be denied and not used, and therefore repelled as something evil. So we are not to be accepting the legal persons of men or these titles. But unfortunately, the world has gone away from God and therefore come under a very bad influence that has run many an evil man to actually operate a system of this suretyship, which brings someone into legal debt that is not real. So we want to ask ourselves again, the big question, is it your responsibility to surety a fabled lie or a genealogy? No. And therefore, you cannot be made to actually surety a lie, but it's up to you to stand forward on that, and it's only for you on good conscience to stop this evil contract.